We're using Felicity today on my friend Michelle, and the tools you're going to need is the Lavishment Hydrating Toner from Beautiful, along with a full high quality foundation brush, and of course your foundation. This is Michelle, and she has nice clean skin, and we're just going to put some Lavishment toner on, and she's going to massage Lavishment moisturizer into her skin. Now Michelle has medium to dry skin, so she's putting a little bit on her eyes as well to prep her skin, and she just gently massages it into her skin. The Lavishment toner and moisturizer soak in pretty rapidly, so you don't need to give yourself any extra time in order to do this technique. The wonderful thing about the pure mineral makeup is that because it has no fillers, a little bit goes a really long way, especially with this airbrush technique. So when you open it up, only slide the slider on the top halfway to where only half of the holes are open before you start tapping it out. Otherwise, you might get way more than what you need. Next, you take your foundation brush and you spritz it lightly with the Lavishment toner. With your nice and moist brush, you quickly buff it through the foundation in your lid. And the goal is to get a light, creamy covering on the very ends of your brush. Because this foundation goes so far, you don't want to waste it, you don't want to cake it on the brush. You just want to buff it into the moist and damp ends of the bristles. And so here I'm going to rapidly buff it into one side of Michelle's face so that you can see a before and after from the two sides of her face, and I'm doing it on the left side of her face right now. It's important to work quickly with once you have your brush prepped with the toner and the foundation on it, because the longer it's left in the air, it starts drying out, and you want to quickly buff it into your skin. Your skin is nice and prepped, your brush is nice and prepped, and you want to immediately start to buff it into your skin. The motto here is buff, buff, buff. None of it is going to go to waste. Here we have Michelle with one side of her face covered, and you can see how it just doesn't even appear she's got foundation on, yet her skin just appears smoother, and her natural glow can come through at the same time. And we're going to finish up her entire face. She had a little bit of a blemish on the other side of her face that we took some extra time just to buff over. If you have a problem area, just buff over it a few more times than you do the rest of the face, and it just kind of acts like an eraser. It's amazing how the problem areas just kind of melt away. And again, our motto is just buff, buff, buff. Don't be afraid to use an extra spritzer of toner if needed. And then we have our finished look, and you can see that her blemish just kind of almost completely faded away, and yet her skin has a beautiful natural glow to it. And our brush at the end should not be caked with any extra foundation. You should have been able to use all of the foundation. And the wonderful thing about this technique is that no foundation goes to waste.